We've got a special guest in the studio right now with us, former ambassador to Japan and current Senate candidate in Tennessee. Bill Hagerty is joining us. He's been on the broadcast a number of times before.
The most immediate issue is that people in Tennessee want to see Judge Amy Coney Barrett confirmed today. That's going to happen.
And that will happen.
Broader, though, I would say jobs and the economy by far are what's on people's minds. They're very concerned about getting this economy turned back around again. They've responded very well to my message because they know I'm a businessman for my entire life. I understand how this economy works. I was the Secretary of Commerce here in Tennessee when we turned out of the last recession, so that has resonated. They also want to see law and order, and they want us to put this pandemic behind us.
The comment that the vice president made about oil and gas. So that became, I think, a major talking point.
Would you close down the oil industry?
By the way, I would transition from the oil industry, yes.
Oh,
I would
that's
transition.
a big statement.
It is a big statement.
That's a
because
big statement.
I would stop.
Why would you do that?
Because the oil industry pollutes significantly.
But he doesn't understand how the economy works. He's willing to take both our economic security and our national security and throw them to the wind. And who makes these solar panels? China. Who's going to make the turbines for the wind? China. He's going to put us back into dependency on China again, and we know the family's financial relationships, the Biden family's
That's a really important
deep
point.
financial relationship.
Yeah, it's a point that probably people don't immediately make, is that these other sources of energy they're talking about, we're not at the manufacturing level yet in our country to produce it here.
We're now energy independent for the first time in our lives, and now we're going to go back and be dependent upon them to produce the solar panels and the turbines that we need for solar and wind.
That is our national security at risk. That's why this election is so critical.
The Amy Coney Barrett situation is going to be resolved tonight. She will be the next Supreme Court nominee. How significant do you think that is?
It's very significant. People here in Tennessee want to see a constitutionalist judge on the bench. What they don't want to see is what the Democrats have been threatening, and that's packing the court.
Judge Amy Coney Barrett will be Justice Amy Coney Barrett, and it's going to happen by a margin that actually has some breathing room. There's going to be 52 votes in the United States Senate. Lisa Murkowski of Alaska has announced that she is going to support the confirmation of Judge Amy Coney Barrett because of her qualifications. Jay, she did vote against a procedural motion earlier in the weekend, so that vote was 51 to 48. Interestingly enough, Senator Kamala Harris, who thought this was such an important issue to oppose, she didn't show up in Washington, D.C. to cast an opposing vote, so that margin was 3 as well.
Do I think that if her vote was absolutely necessary, Susan Collins would be there for Judge Barrett? I think she would. I think she's proven that in the past. She took the hit by standing with Kavanaugh. She took the hit on impeachment. So if it was necessary, but she's got, you've got Murkowski, you've got Romney, you've got Gardner. The votes are there. You don't need the vice president's going to be there to preside over.
This is a completely political decision.
Yes, and I think that, again, it's not that you have to support the politics of Susan Collins or of Maine Republicans, but remember that she contributes to that overall number of whether Republicans retain control of the U.S. Senate.
If Democrats take all of the time that is allotted to debate today, roughly around 7:30 East Coast time, they will take a full vote on the floor of the United States Senate, and it sure looks like that final tally is going to be 52 to 48. But one way or another, Jay, at the end of today, there will be a full complement of 9 justices on the United States Supreme Court.
In hours, literally, we are going to see the confirmation, and you will see tonight the swearing in of Amy Coney Barrett as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court of the United States.